The opinions expressed on this program are solely those of its hosts, guests, or callers, and do not necessarily represent the opinions of WTBR-FM, its management, other producers, or sponsors.
Well, the Good Wallace didn't get herself ejected in the state final for some dumb stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to say I dreaded showing up to this football game on Friday night, but
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Mike, if you want to talk, you have to talk into the microphone. There we go. Mic to mic.
I'm lost.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pittsfield Community Radio, 89.7 WTBR-FM, Pittsfield 88.1 WSBR Lee. This is Bird's Eye View. Jesse and Mike here, and it is the interim. It's the great unknown. We finished the high school fall season. Hopefully, I think it was just a solo recording last week, which was Thanksgiving.
No, we haven't been here in 3 weeks. Yeah,
that's right. You haven't been here in a while. I was here 2 weeks then, I guess, ago for the radiothon. So I was on with Bob Heck and some other gentlemen and talked about. Actually, I think because of me, we talked a lot about sports. So they talked about baseball and Wacona Park.
Okay, yeah.
And
it's like arguably the biggest, like, if it happens, arguably the biggest news story that we could kind of have in the sports realm, I think, in Berkshire County right now. Yeah,
it certainly would be up there.
It's a giant if, though.
I think. Well, so that was actually the same day that the ice rink project got moved from the Pittsfield Common to Wacona Park, and I had known that from the beginning. That was always the end goal, but then it just kind of became the now goal, just because Wacona Park was more feasible. And then one of the people, I think, was Matt Rinn, who's a city councilor or more ward, councilor, ward something.
I don't know.
Anyway, I was like, so push, poke, nudge, nudge. Does this mean that Wacona Park is happening? And so then that led to more conversations. For my money, I said, I think this is a good thing, if for no other reason than it keeps Wacona Park in the public conscious. Right, that kind of project has a lot of inertia, and the more it's out of sight, out of mind, the less likely it feels like it'll happen. So at least
that is very true.
Front and center is very much important.
So it was like picking up food at not Adrian's, Thrive. It used to be Adrian's. The other last weekend, and just kind of like walking by it and being like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Like it does. We're sports writers, and it just kind of I just forget about it because it's been so long since the Suns played.
There's
only so much things you can get going.
The Babe Ruth tournament this past summer.
But a couple Babe Ruth tournaments. The BABL tries to fill it. There's played some high school games there. I covered a Western Mass final there. But it's just not the consistent presence in our minds anymore.
For sure, but it's not the same. We also, this is the grand return of Henry. He was missing for a few weeks. So he's back there in the corner. We'll see what he's up to. Perhaps
we
later
were
on.
Inches from falling asleep on the drive here. Actually, that's why I was so late. I took a wrong turn. It's been so long. I took a wrong turn coming here.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I let my mind drift and just missed the junction thing there that doesn't show up on your GPS, but I know is a shortcut. And then was like, oh boy, now I'm stuck at a light. That's when I checked, and of course you always message me at like 9:55, like, are you coming? And usually I'm walking in at that point, but no, this time I was like, I should probably check and tell him that I am coming, because just in case I'm late.
Oh, lovely, the professional.
Made it, baby.
He's a real professional. Did you still have Thanksgiving leftovers?
My wife told me not to eat them anymore.
What?
Like if you had food you cooked on Thanksgiving, by now in the fridge, it is not safe to eat anymore.
I don't think that's
according to her. I do still have one turkey leg in there though. Yes, but she made the executive decision of taking all the leftovers out of the fridge and just left them next to the sink. I got to clean those out today. But that's the. Apparently the cutoff is like 4 or 5 days, I think, of cooked food. I do have some. We froze a good amount that we will eat later on.
Oh, you like in the freezer?
Yes, yes. So there will be some
like
at some
leftover
point.
turkey or mashed potatoes or something like that.
I think it's a mixture. We were at my mom's house, my parents' house, and my mom I think filled up a Tupperware and then we froze it because we were up there until Sunday night, and then came home. But no, I think I'm out of it now on Thanksgiving. Like I think we're.
Wow.
I could actually make food later.
That's We're
moving on to cookies and stuff.
Not that I can really you're saying as your wife is like a biology teacher, so
she does have the benefit of knowledge.
I just feel that's completely
or the curse of knowledge.
I don't think that's.
Well, sometimes she's like, "You can do it, but I'm not going to." Like, all right.
Well, there you go.
I think I just have a stronger constitution.
No, 4 days after you like the whole point of cooking it is that it lasts longer. Like this is the whole.
You're talking bacteria stuff now, and I don't know.
This is the point of modern refrigeration is that it lasts longer.
It's fair.
I took basically like one small Tupperware with me for the food wise because I was going from New Hampshire to we had it in Andover, but driving from New Hampshire to the Berkshires. But then my cousin Augusta, who's my mom's age, and she hosts Thanksgiving, she always goes just crazy on the desserts. Even though she doesn't eat sugar, so she's kind of just doing it for the rest of us.
Okay.
So I have like 20 cookies left over still.
Okay. I think there might be still desserts left, but yeah, I believe the food is.
Oh, I still have apple crisp left over too. That's in the fridge.
Okay.
Was Henry able to have like a little turkey or something?
Yeah, pretty much everything. He's a bit of a landfill for a baby. He had. I think he had a bit of everything. The elder one is a little pickier.
Landfill makes sense. He probably gnaws on some plastic.
Pretty much, yeah. If you do like Halloween candy, just kind of gnaws through it and gets to the chocolate. He knows how to do it.
There you go.
That was good. It was good. It was a good Thanksgiving, I will say. I watched a lot more football than my little brother had a parlay of like, I think he bet the over on all the games or something. So then like all of a sudden like my whole family is like rooting for him. And at some point in the day I'm like, how much did you put on this? And he's like $10. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Everyone's like freaking out that I'm like, you're gonna lose $10? I've watched 8 hours of football today for this.
That's funny. My cousin's husband put like $100 on a parlay, and I think most other aspects hit, but the very first one didn't. So
no. Well, this was the only game that didn't go over was the last game. So I was locked in until midnight. Actually, I think he went to bed before me.
Let's see. No, that Thanksgiving I watched football during it, but then I finished the part 1 of season 5 of Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah, still on. Yeah, it's on the to-do list.
On the to-do list.
I was watching the Daily Show late last night, like from Monday, and Jon Stewart like almost spoiled it. They did like a goofy thing with it.
That's tough.
But Mike, I believe some cousins were talking about it. And I was like, no, I'll get to it.
I've been good with my friends when we're on like Discord or something. I'm like, all right, who's not caught up? I'm not trying to spoil it. Or in a group chat, I don't want to be the one to ruin it for everybody. We're having a lot of preamble here, folks, because as I mentioned at the top, there's nothing going on. So we had the Lee High School football semifinal and the state semifinal. They lost. That was last week's on Thanksgiving episode, and next week is when high school basketball and hockey start. But in the interim, there's just not much going on. So we're kind of talking a little about Thanksgiving. Ooh, you guys are matching.
Actually, yes, yeah, we are. I was just looking for a hoodie for him that didn't have stripes.
An orange hoodie, and so is Henry. Although he's in his hood, he's looking.
It's cold out there.
It is cold out there.
Supposedly tomorrow it's supposed to be like nuts.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to snow again, isn't it?
I think just like bitter cold, like sub-zero.
Well, that's fine.
Or beyond sub-zero.
That's fine. That might be a work from home day.
Yeah, but no. So with the football stuff, you were at
that's true,
the NFL. Yeah. We can continue our NFL.
I
solely because I'm sorry to get into it. Like I was with all my family and watching football, and the talk was pretty much like do we have to like we're caring about the Patriots again, which is like for the longest time of my youth. The main time of year that I would see family on like a regular basis was NFL playoffs, because we all kind of lived within an hour or so of everybody. So every Sunday come playoff season was like, okay, who's hosting the Patriots playoff party? And it was like it just became a consistent thing, and that's when I would see aunts, uncles. We would go to
Hey, who got into a fight with Henry?
Oh, I think himself, yeah. Got a bad cut on his cheek. I cut his nails every week, but yeah. You can't keep them short enough.
There, kid?
You can't keep them short enough. But it would be like, my dad got this TV, and then like the next year my uncle would outdo him and got like an 85 incher or something, and it would just kind of continue to grow and be like, oh, he's got the hot tub, so if the game's sucky, we can go in the hot tub. And that became a thing, and yeah, this is the first time now in 5 years, 6 years, really since Brady left, I guess. That it's like, like who's hosting? No, we've all kind of scattered a bit more, so I don't know if that'll happen, but it was nice to be like, oh yeah, we used to do that every weekend in January, and then all the Super Bowl parties, like every Patriots Super Bowl, I can kind of remember whose house I was at.
Yeah, so I put this
on a road.
I covered the Patriots and the Giants game on Monday. That was very cool. It was I wrote this. The Patriots are good. There's no two ways about it. But they're 11-2, and 3 of their wins are against teams with a 500 or better record. All right, they're beating up on it. They have a very easy schedule, and they're beating up on it. And I think it's also just a general year in the NFL where everyone is not great, and it's kind of going to
seems to be. Yeah.
Well, we'll see which kind of vaguely over 500 team gets hot in the playoffs. They have Buffalo and Baltimore coming up, and that's going to be huge if they can beat those teams. Not that Buffalo and Baltimore have been lighting it up this year, but those are still, playoff caliber teams that are capable of making deep runs. And if you can beat them, that says a lot. And then they have the Jets and the Dolphins, which you'd expect them to beat.
Yeah. So the Baltimore team I saw on Thanksgiving, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, no.
The Patriots schedule really is just complete garbage.
It is. And that's going to be part of it is, when they face better teams in the playoffs, are they going to be ready for it? Because once again, they're just not facing that right now. And the other part of it is, Drake May is an MVP candidate once again because everyone's not that great. Everyone's not that great.
He's an MVP candidate because there is no MVP.
Because there's no MVP this year. There really isn't. He has not thrown for 300 yards ever, and he hasn't done it this year, which is not great.
It during. I was watching on TV. He did it during the game, and then that play got called back.
That's true.
For the offsetting penalties, and they're like, he still doesn't have it.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, he threw a touchdown pass to Hunter Henry.
He won 10 straight games, and your quarterback hasn't thrown 300 yards.
And the Patriots, and so it got called off. He finished with 282, and he in the first half he was great, and the second half he was nearly as efficient. He was still, it was good efficiency for the same amount of yardage and no touchdowns, and it was just a lot of empty calories. The Patriots had a lot of drives that did not score, and that's going to be an issue, especially when you're playing a defense that's much better than the Giants' terrible defense. And so, there's still a lot of question marks for both May and the Pats, but. First year under Mike Vrabel, this is a great start to the season. It's a good season, even if
you wrote that your thing start to the season. I'm like, they're 13 games in.
No, I
don't know if we can still call it a start.
A good midway point, like yeah, 13 games in. I mean, if they finish up like 12-5, it's still a very good season.
If they finish 12-5, that'd be pretty rough. Close, given that they're.
Yeah,
11-2 now, so you're saying 1-4, 1-3.
Yeah.
Also, it means you lose to the Jets or the Dolphins, which at this point is unacceptable.
Sure, but that generally happens.
I can see it. It's a lock up the first seed thing, which I believe if they beat the Bills next week, they because they're off this weekend, but they would clinch the AFC East.
That I think is correct.
For the first time in a while.
No. Not the AFC. They have 3 divisional games left.
I don't think it matters.
The Bills in that bad in the division? Maybe. The Broncos are right on their tail for the AFC
for the number 1 seed in the bye,
so they would have to really
crucial,
do well down the stretch, which is certainly possible. The Pats still don't have really good receivers. They arguably only have decent receivers. The offensive line benefited from the Giants having the worst run defense in the NFL, but not having Will Campbell is certainly an issue at left tackle. And defensively, our special teams was fantastic. Defensively, once again, it's like you're playing a bad team. It's kind of what are you gonna do? They have a good identity though, which is an improvement. They play hard, they play fast, they play tough. And yeah, for the Giants, it was just like, this is another reason why everyone should be fired. Joe Shane is the main culprit now at this point. Like, there are no other excuses. This team is bad. This team is paper thin in year 4, which is unacceptable. He has had so many misses, and all of his biggest hits are the guys that everybody said, take this guy. It's like, you don't get credit for doing the national consensus, right? Like, Malik Neighbors was maybe the third best prospect in his draft class, and you took him with your top pick. It's like, yeah, you did the obvious route. You did the thing everyone told you to do. You don't get credit for that. Same with Abdul Carter. You did that with Kayvon Thibodeau, and he has not really panned out like you wanted him to.
In the column, you didn't mention the running back at all, which I thought was...
Cam Scatterbo?
Yeah. Like, was that a good pick?
It was...
It seems like, I don't know if he's if he's as good as everyone kind of makes him out to be, just because of like
Cam
who he is personality-wise and stuff.
No, he was a good pick. He was a 4th round, but he was taken where he was expected to be taken.
Okay, that's fine.
But no, he deserves some credit for Scad, but Scad was also hurt. So, it's like, all right, well, what am I, oh, great, when he comes back from and having his ankle like snapped in half, like, all right, let's see what he does. Yeah, he deserves some credit for Scadaboo. But like, he took Evan Neal with the 5th pick or the 7th pick in the 2022 draft, and Evan Neal is now, they're gonna like waive him at the end of the year. Just so many failures, and now the Giants are in like real contention for the number 1 overall pick, top 3 pick, and you just really hard to trust him with that, and you certainly can't trust him with hiring the head coach, because 4 years ago, the Giants hired Joe Shane to be the general manager, and he was the assistant general manager for the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills had just been built up as, a consistent playoff contender. He was a hot candidate. It made a lot of sense, and gave John Mara, the owner, a lot of credit, because he had kept things in-house, and in-house has been terrible. And so it's like, get out and get somebody new, get some new blood in there. And I don't know enough to say Shane didn't really do anything. He was just kind of the assistant, and I don't know. Maybe he was super integral to all their draft success. Maybe he wasn't. But from a 30,000-foot view, it made a lot of sense. Here was a guy who was the number 2 for a really good general manager, and they brought him in. Great. And then what happened? Because John Mara was like, I'm not going to be involved in the coaching search. Joe Shane just said, I'm going to hire my boy, Brian Daboll, who was the Bills' offensive coordinator. And John Mara, by all accounts, really wanted Brian Flores, who was the then recently fired Miami Dolphins head coach. And, this led to the whole Bill Belichick text Ron Bryan thing. And Brian Flores is now suing the Giants and the NFL for discrimination because John Mara can't get out of his own way and just let his team do its job. But, of course, then you have just Joe Shane. And as soon as Shane got hired, you knew for a fact Brian Daboll was going to be the head coach. Like, that's how this thing works, right? He goes into his Rolodex and he says, who's the guy I'm friends with, who I know intimately well? I'm going to bring over the guy from Buffalo with me, and that's who's going to be the head coach. And that's what he did with Brian Daboll. And Brian Daboll, once again, 30,000-foot view, he's the offensive coordinator for several high-profile coaches. He's the guy who helped Josh Allen turn into this MVP candidate. Great. And he had one really, really good season his first year, and he's consistently underperformed. It's the first season seems to have been a fluke. That's the proof. And he is not ready. He was not ready to be a head coach. His skills as an offensive coordinator left a lot to be desired. And so now you're going to trust Joe Shane to do this again, and every single coach who's like, there's links, maybe he's a giant. It's like they're all guys with links to Joe Shane. These are all his friends, and it's your friends are bad. All right, they are not good in this relationship, and this is a toxic relationship with all parties, and you cannot trust Joe Shane to make this hire, and the fact that they want to keep him makes it a less attractive job because a head coach does not want to have a guy hovering over them who's immediately we need to win now, and might be fired and. It's a mess. And it doesn't help matters either that, John Mara is battling cancer, and so, his priorities are somewhat split at the moment. So yeah, it's just a complete mess. We're going to take a break and come back and maybe talk a little more NFL, maybe talk a little basketball. So stay right here on WTBR and WSBR as I...
Do you want to copy-paste this on UMass, on UMass football as well? Offensive coordinator. This guy shouldn't be allowed to hire another guy. Just copy-paste.
The athletic director, yes. That is also accurate.
PCTV Select is a great way to watch local content without having a cable subscription. You can keep up with the latest of what's going on in your community from anywhere in the world. And it's available for free right now. Watch live events in full HD on your TV, on your computer, or on the go with your mobile device. Or watch our large library of on-demand video programs anytime that's convenient for you. No more waiting until it's on TV. Did we mention it's free? PCTV Select is everywhere you need to be.
Hi, this is Sean Sayre, Executive Director of PCTV. When Taconic High School was demolished, we could have lost this radio station. Instead, PCTV stepped in, built a new studio and transmitter, and gave the station new life. And now it's time to pay that back. Support this station today. Go to WTBR-FM.com and click the donate button. You won't be sorry. Pittsfield Community Radio thanks you for your support.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pittsfield Community Radio 89.7 WTBR-FM, Pittsfield 88.1 WSBR Lee. Bird's Eye View here with Jesse and Mike. Hank is making some noise there in the background. He's hopping in. He isn't still in recovery. His next fight is postponed. He's got a little bit of a... shiner there on his cheek, but there was a 9-month-old that was looking to get the last goldfish cracker, so
He's looking like he looks like he played a pickup game against somebody with 2 long fingernails, which we've all been there.
I hope he's not playing pick. Is he playing? He's playing pickup.
Actually, I have some fun pictures of. He came with me on Monday to Pittsfield girls basketball practice, which was opening day of winter sports. Technically, for practices and tryouts and all that was Monday. So I just stopped into Pittsfield. I was trying to figure out, what do we know? Who do I know that's, not going through a complete tryout process? Because I don't like showing up to I hate going to the... Honestly, it's for whatever reason, we do it. We've always done it, but I don't like showing up on day one just because I feel like it's, weird added pressure on the kids just trying to make a team. And then I'm standing there with a camera.
Sure.
So I was like, Pittsfield has... pretty much a returning starting 5, starting 6. I think they graduated maybe 2 girls off last year's team.
And no starters.
And I guess Powell was... Desiree Powell would be the biggest
Desiree Powell
point there.
She was.
But there's 5 girls that we know are going to be very good back at Pittsfield. So I was like, I'll just go and I can talk to them.
How are their numbers? Because they didn't have a JV last year.
Probably didn't look like enough for a... I wouldn't say it's enough for 2 full 12-girl teams. Maybe.
How many were there?
I'm looking at a picture right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
you can listen
10,
to
11,
Mike 12. Count live on air.
14-ish. Yeah, it looks like about 14 girls
that's
maybe.
Not great.
Yeah,
that's not great.
So, but I mean, they were all happy to be there. I liked. I got a couple. My main. I'll beyond the hey. Is it cool that you got to wake up this morning knowing you got to play basketball later? Question. I just kind of was like, okay, what do you feel like people don't know about Pittsfield girls basketball entering this season? And I think Berger gave me an actual answer, Berger Ellerby. But at the same time, her answer was what people know. And then everyone else was like, I think they know what we're about. I think they know what to expect. I think I closed it with Madison Stetz's quote. I think they know what's coming. I think people know what's coming.
Yeah, no, it's a fair...
Which you should know.
It's a fair point. They were a Final Four team last year. They won the Western Mass Championship for the first time. They should be excellent this year. I'm like, they should be a Final Four team. It's assuming that Stetz comes back healthy. She had an ACL tear, and she probably is going to miss the first few games. So when she's back... Oh, what's up, Henry? What's up, bud? Are you sad about the ACL tear too? Yours are good. Don't worry about it. You got several more years.
Very stretchy.
That's true. Yeah, you're very stretchy. You got all that cartilage right now. assuming, because obviously even when she comes back, it's going to take time for her to get her legs back under her.
Yeah, I don't know that she'll be 100% at any point in the season. It seems like more of it's just it's how much can she bear it, how much can she take.
Right. You hope that by like late February, March, she's kind of back to normal, but she's definitely going to need a lot of run-up time. Assuming, however, that she can kind of get back to where she was, I think, this team they should be in the Western Mass Final, and they should be in the Final Four in D3. They have certainly that potential. Herlin Castillo could easily hit 1,000 points this year. Bridget Ellerby is going to be really good. Kiana Summers is going to be really, really good. Caprice Conyers, we're excited to see what kind of leap she can take. They have a lot of really good pieces. And, what'll be interesting at the state level at least, is St. Mary's of Lynn has won, I believe, either 2 of 4 or 3 of 4 D3 state titles in this new format. And they've been moved up to D2 now. Mm-hmm. So that roadblock is out of the way. And last year, Pittsfield had to play them in the Final Four, and if they were on the other side of the bracket, there's a real chance they can make it to Lowell. They make it to the state championship game. But St. Mary's of Lynn won, and they won the state title, and that's kind of, they were better. And
literally one of two. They only lost 2 games last year. One was that game.
Right. And
semis.
So, this year now, there is a new potential big bad, and that's Cathedral from Boston. And Cathedral has won 3 straight D4 state championship games. So how Cathedral, can handle D3? Does PHS have the athleticism and the size to match up? Those will be interesting questions if they meet. But yeah, I'm looking at PHS as like Cathedral, Foxborough. Like these are the teams that PHS has to match up with, but otherwise, like they should be in a very, very good position to make a deep run. And kids who literally did it last year, and like this is your senior year, how are you going to go out? So yeah, I think everyone knows what they're going to get with PHS, and they just it's on them now to go out and do it. I hope, because last year was kind of the breakout, right? Mm-hmm. And this year, I think there are going to be more expectations on them that we are better than the regular teams we face, and I hope that they do not get complacent about it. They have enough warts that will cost them, but it'll be an interesting season in the county because Hoosick girls are going to be rebuilding after some dominant years in a row. Wacona, I think, will be excellent. Madison McCarthy should be hitting 1,000 points. Daniel Hagmeyer, I'm very excited for what she does as a sophomore. Taconic is still rebuilding. Lennox will be interesting to see now that I don't think they'll have Chloe Parsenios, and 2 of the other players from last year graduated, so where they go will be interesting. Lee should be good, but I don't know, they are losing Mia Polari. Oh, what's he playing with?
He's tearing these pictures off the wall.
You can't redecorate, you're not paid to do that.
It'll be. I guess their biggest question will be depth. Like we saw it in the state finals last year for Hoosick. Like if you lose a girl or two to foul trouble to other stuff, does Pittsfield have that depth?
Yeah.
Like you just said, obviously they didn't have a JV team last year, so half of those girls at tryouts either didn't play basketball last year or certainly weren't playing any kind of high school organized at that level. So yeah, there's a question there. Certainly entering the season.
Yeah, I agree. And then
I'm doing quick math. I have Harland at 813 for points.
Yeah, she'll get she got 1,000. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. On the boys' side, real quick, we only got a minute left. PHS Taconic, where are they? PHS graduated a bunch of its top scorers. Taconic, huge graduations, also graduated all of its top scorers. Yeah. Kyle McGrath, Martin Buis, Cesar Santos. So yeah, who's going to score the ball? Taconic also lost a lot of height. How are they going to adjust? Monument Mountain lost all of its guards, lost, probably, 800, 900 points from last year. They went from a guard-heavy team to now a bigs-heavy team. Wacona, who's going to score for them, is still the $9 million question. Hoosick Valley has a new coach for the first time in a while. Bill Robinson retired, so how is that team going to look? Drury, Jorge Bond, I think could be the best player in the county, but what's the rest of the team going to look like? They graduated some of their key other pieces. It'll be interesting to see as we wind down here. Like we said, next week will be a real preview for the basketball season. We'll have seen some more stuff. Next Thursday, I believe, is also the first day of the basketball season.
Yes, we have games next Thursday. There's a Scrimfest at Wacona on Saturday, and Buckyball is Tuesday night.
Have a good day.